What's up, everybody? This is another Insecure review. This is season 5, episode 2. This is the final season, and it's called Growth, okay? Getting into it because I'm not gonna drag it out. We talked a bit on the premiere episode. This episode and the season in general, it's not starting off super fast, which I can appreciate because I don't want us to rush through the season and I don't want us to get into a situation where we don't have, substance and the season is just, quickly over and it's just like, oh man, like what was that? So I'm not mad at that. We get into the season and we kind of pick up where we left off from the last episode, of course, and then we time jump a year later. This episode did not feature Lawrence. It didn't feature Tiffany. It didn't feature Derek. It didn't feature Kelly, my heart, Natasha Rothwell, my favorite character on the show. And we get right into it. So we see Issa has no longer been driving Lyft. I'm not entirely sure if she moved. I don't believe she did. But it doesn't look like she has the old jobs that she did. She's no longer driving Lyft. She's no longer the superintendent at her apartment building. It looks like she's just a resident and she's booked and she's busy. She works for this new firm. I'm not sure if it's an advertising or PI firm, but I do PI firm. But I do know that due to her success with the block events, she's starting to come up in the world of event planning and putting things together and, really being a tastemaker, industry tastemaker. So she's putting together this new event with this rapper named Crenshaw. And he's played by Kofi Siriboe from Queen Sugar. And, of course, y'all know him not only from Queen Sugar, but you know him from Girls Trip. Molly is trying to figure out her dating life, and her mother's trying to hook her up. Basically feel like that clock is ticking, you getting old, this, that, and the third, when we gonna be some grandparents, all of that good stuff. She's trying to hook her up with somebody from church. I believe his name is Herbert. Herbert is old. Getting right to it. Herbert is old, and you end up seeing a picture of Herbert down the way. This is gonna be in and out of order. However, I'm just thinking off the dome again. And Issa sees a picture of him. And Issa was like, okay, he's cute. No, excuse me, his dad is cute, but let me see him. And then Molly still holding the phone and is like, Issa's like, yo, show me him. That is Herbert at the end of the day. It was the most hilarious thing. In this episode, we get to see Koya. She's still Issa's personal assistant. Koya's still a fool. She's still a clown. She's still a nut. I love Koya being on this show. In this episode, we do, however, get to see Nathan. And he's back. Issa apparently threw an event for him before in his barbershop, and she's going to do another one. And also we see other events and different things that have happened with Issa. And how people have said they, have had their lives changed by Issa's work and just a bunch of different things. So getting further into Molly's side of the tracks, she's trying to figure out if she should rejoin the league and all the different dating things that she did previously. And then she's starting to have flashbacks of why all those things didn't work out and why it was so awful and why they all crashed and burned the way that they did. Me personally, I'm not sure why Molly's still trying to date. I'm not even sure why she's not in therapy or why we haven't seen her in therapy, because only person she need to date is truly her therapist. She don't need to date nobody. She don't need to date nobody for a minute. She need to go to therapy, figure that out, work that out. Maybe she has in the last year. The bright side and the upside of this episode is that it looks like the robbery that happened with Cheyenne when they went to their college reunion is what sealed the deal of making Issa and Molly get over whatever they were trying to get over, whatever the speed bump was. They finally made it over to the other side. They're comfortable with each other again. They're sisters again. They love each other. They talk to each other. They have dinner. They have drinks. And, even to the point where Molly will stay over at Issa's house like, listen, I got a pillow for you, whatever the case may be, all of that good stuff. It becomes a regular thing. So they're kind of back to the way they used to be. They got keys to each other's cribs. They go visit each other. They have regular time with each other. So it's becoming a good thing again. I'm comfortable to see that because I didn't want this season or this series to end on a bad note, because the last episode had me thinking like, yo, they really struggling to be friends. They need to go ahead and throw this away. Just get rid of this joint completely. Fast forward to Issa planning this event for Crenshaw and having him perform. A dude named Seth that she works with and takes orders from is kind of trying to whitewash the event. And Issa wants to leave the soul and the authenticity in it the same way that Crenshaw wanted it, the way he planned it out. He's got fashion coming through. He's got music coming through. He has a whole different situation coming through to show, you know, exactly what his music is about and what he's about as an artist. And the problem with that is that if he wants a shot, then he has to cut this part out of the show. And the dude Seth is not really budging on it. And the dude Seth automatically doesn't even believe in him anyway. He feels that we can get somebody who is better known. He feels that we can get somebody who is more relevant. And at the end of the day, Issa's whole point is, well, we can't make this man relevant if we don't give him the opportunity. He's from this area. This is his neighborhood. We need to give him this opportunity. Long story short, Issa talks to Molly about it and then gets the idea to talk to her boss, Nadia. Well, Nadia got some up her sleeve because she happened to be in town. Issa goes and says, you know what? Forget Seth. I'm going to talk to Nadia. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk to her, and I'm going to have her call the shot. She the boss anyway. She the one that's cutting the checks, writing the checks, supplying the checks. I'm going to go talk to her. Well, Nadia had something for her because guess what? Who shows up but Seth? And then they get into the meeting. Issa gets into her awkward, nervous self, but at the same time lets it be known, listen, I don't feel like you gave this man enough of a chance, and I really want you to. And he's telling her why it's a risk and why they shouldn't do it. And she's saying, well, I'm telling you why we should do it and why he's the right choice and why I believe in him. And when this is a success, you get to say you discovered him. Well, they agree, but there's notes. And the notes are to edit and completely water the show down and take out all the things, all the rawness of the show. And Issa ends up letting Crenshaw know this, and Crenshaw completely blows up and explodes at the show and lets it be known, that's not what I'm doing. At the show, we also see Koya still being the personal assistant, and we also see the YouTube lady who was the reporter at the block's first event, and she's still harassing Issa, trying to get stories and all this other stuff, and lets Issa know, if you don't give me a story, I'm a, think that you hiding something. She's still a weirdo, but she's still hilarious. Koya completely body checks and metal detectors Molly because of what happened at the block's first event when they said that Molly had a gun, and ever since then Koya don't trust her and looks her up and down. So she completely did a whole TSA security check on Molly, and Molly goes to Issa, she still think I got a gun since that first time? And she was like, well, you did have one, jokingly saying she had a gun the first time. Going forward into the show, Crenshaw and Issa get into their, little scuffle. They have words, and then Crenshaw lets Issa know, I'm not a sellout like you. I'm going to do me. If you really believed in me, then you would just go along with what I'm going along with. He agreed originally to water down the show and edit the show. He changed his mind at the last minute and did not communicate that to Issa, which didn't go over well. Issa tells Molly about this, and then they sit there and watch the show on pins and needles. Seth is front row, and the music starts, everything's jumping, everything's cool, the fashion show is cool, and then sirens start to blare, and then you hear this spoken word, this poetry that's real aggressive and angry, and then all of a sudden Molly and Issa go to each other like, oh shit. And it's nice to see them in sync again, but Issa started to panic and was like, I'm gonna have to go back to drive and live. I don't even know why I took my sticker off my car. And it all goes well. It all goes according to plan because Seth ended up liking the show and tells Issa we'll talk more, and he was very impressed. And sidebar, that's what we have to do sometimes as black people. We have to let people know we're not changing what we do. You know what I mean? We need more ideas for y'all to rip off anyway later on. You know what I'm saying? The high corporate execs who want to give their white pop artists the authentic, raw, soulful hip-hop and R&B ideas and send it to the pop world, and whatever the case may be, instead of just letting us do it. This is why we do what we do. This is why we stand 10 toes down. This is why it don't change. This is why we rock out when we do, and why we do what we do the way we want to do it. Because at the end of the day, you're going to take it for yourself and try to water it down and sell it to somebody else as if it was authentic. And that's exactly what Crenshaw's point was. So I understood the message in it. Hopefully everybody else did. We got India Shawn tunes in this music. The music is always phenomenal with Insecure, so I was never disappointed in that part. I'm still not. After the event, Crenshaw sees Issa. He looks disappointed in her. I hope they end up patching that up because, it would be dope for Issa to get into that world and say, hey, listen, I helped discover this man. And, it would just be a good move for her career-wise, I feel anyway, because it seems like he's going to be a successful artist via the show. Going after the show, Issa hits up Nathan and says, you want to get a drink? Molly ends up going out on a date. And she sees, dude at the restaurant. She's real eager. We also see Yvonne Orji's hair, the haircut that she actually has in real life underneath the protective hairstyles that she wears, which I think is dope. I think it's great that, black women, especially women who are, of Nigerian culture as she is, show off, the haircuts that they want to show off, be it locks, be it, short, short, super short styles, be it curls, be it whatever. It's nice to see that because she looks, drop dead gorgeous with it. She has beautiful skin and all of that stuff. So it was good to see her, have that transformation on the show. And she ends up going out on a date, trying something new, and she was telling herself, embrace the change, embrace the change. Issa and Nathan end up chilling at her house. They end up having a drink, talking and all of that good stuff. The event was successful. Nathan was letting her know, listen, at the end of the day, I'm not successful at everything. I've been trying to brave for the longest, but that ain't my gift. The one thing I like about Nathan, and I'm going to tell you this much, and we're going to get ready to wrap it up soon. The one thing about me and why I'm going to always be Team Nathan is because Nathan does not force many things. And the other part of it is that Nathan is not going to chase many things either. He accepts things for what they are, and that's just it. He really is one who lives by that code of it is what it is. And that's for better or for worse. And he was getting ready to catch a lift back to his place. Issa said, why don't you stay? They end up getting into bed, just chilling, just laying there. She said, thank you for coming through. They really have become friends. They are actual friends. It's not anything that's, too forced or relationship, related. And the one thing that Molly said to Issa is that I could never be with somebody who I've seen, intimately like that. Being judgy Molly still, a piece of Molly previously, a little bit of judgmental, a little bit of judgmental, what do I call it? Judgmentalness there. And, it's called judgment, but, a little bit of judgmental Molly coming in that scene. And I could tell that Issa just enjoys Nathan. I really do. I think that's the one thing about her and Lawrence. I feel a sense of it being forced with her and Lawrence. And this is all fictional, but I definitely feel a sense of them being forced as to where she just feels comfortable and relaxed with Nathan. And like I always say, I feel like she came through to her best self when she met Nathan and they got to talking about this idea when they were high off of everything at Coachella. But it came from that to this real thing that became The Block. He ended up helping her fix her first festival when Molly was being a hater. And then, from her being a hater to now Issa has this high-powered job and she's still able to do The Block. And did she reach like 20,000 followers, I think, on her Instagram on there? The Block's official Instagram? Either way, I feel like not Nathan gave her that, but I definitely feel like Nathan played a big part in that. As to where when she was with Lawrence, it wasn't that type of situation. She was depressed. He was depressed. They loved each other but hated each other at the same time. She didn't even want to go home. She wants to see Nathan, and I definitely feel that, like I said, he helped her become her best self. Or, let me not give him too much credit, but he definitely, I think, provided Issa with a little bit of inspiration to become her best self. And we've seen her be more successful while knowing him than when she was with Lawrence and, was at We Got Y'all and was just trying to figure out life. So it's always going to be Team Nathan over here. That's it for me. And that was pretty much it, except for one more thing. When they did get into the bed, they started getting intimate or whatever. He leaned over to kiss her. Issa broke down crying, broke out, busted out crying. I mean, hysterics emotionally. And it has to do with Lawrence, of course. She says she's not ready yet. There we go. So there's that. Still Team Nathan over here. I think, that's a thing. Like I said, she just seems more comfortable. It's not forced. But that is what she said. She was like, I thought I was ready, but I'm not. Nathan was getting ready to go. He, held her for a while or whatever. I believe they fell asleep, and I think he waited till she fell asleep to go ahead and go. And then he dipped out or whatever the case may be. I thought he was going to wait till the morning at least or something so they could talk. Nope, he dipped out. And she heard him leave. He ain't say bye. He ain't leave a note, not a text, nothing. So it was like a little bit of like, damn, Nathan, not again. Like, yo, you really getting ready to dip out and vanish again. Like, are we going to see you the rest of the season, bro? Like, it was like, it gave me those vibes when he vanished before. But, I mean, it was kind of awkward, and it wasn't made awkward by him. It was made awkward by Issa. Like, yo, like, this is deep. This is deeper than I thought it would be. And that was really the episode. What is the next episode? You know what? I forgot what the next preview of the episode, next episode preview was. Oh, Lawrence is back. And I think we're gonna see maybe the whole thing revolve around him and his life, and San Francisco, and maybe even him moving back to where he was, and coming back home and all of that good stuff. And we do see him interacting with someone new. So we're gonna get to see Lawrence and get more into his story this next episode. But anyways, guys, what was your favorite part of this episode? What do you think of the season so far? We're only 2 episodes in. You team Nathan or you team Lawrence? And don't forget to like, rate, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend, share, all of that good stuff. And I will catch y'all the next time. Thank y'all for following. Thank you for the views. Thank you for, taking the time out to even, correspond, all of that good stuff. You don't have to. You don't have to subscribe. You should. It's totally free. Thank you. Thank you for being, a part of this jungle of my show, of my YouTube shows and reviews. And thank you for being a part of whatever this is. Ain't no fans, but thank you for being, a follower on here. Thank you for being part of the YouTube entourage. How about that? All right. Anyways, guys, until next time.